Hi, it's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology, and today I'm here to talk about Pluto conjoined with the moon. Yeah, and that is tomorrow, May 8th. And that's a big deal. It is. And that will be at 10:22 a.m. and that is 5:22 p.m. Universal Time. Here on the West Coast, it's early in the morning, or later in the morning, I should say. So, what is this about? So, Pluto is about intensity, it's about transformation, and it is about everything that is deep and kind of sometimes kept secret. But when Pluto gets together with the moon, and we can see it right here, there's going to be something that is very deep and intense. It can be very deep feelings, right? And the moon is here at 5 degrees with Pluto in future oriented Aquarius. So, this emotional intensity is likely to be something about the future because Pluto does represent change, right? We also have the moon and Pluto making a trine here. We're just showing a few of the aspects, but the trine to making a trine to Gemini, and Uranus is about change. It's about things that are chaotic that need to change in order to, or things that can be stagnant, actually, that Uranus wants to bring in the change. It wants to bring in liberation and independence. So, tomorrow will be a very intense day. It sure will. And so we have that air trine there. All right. So, yeah, we're likely to feel very emotional tomorrow with the moon conjoining Pluto. The moon and Pluto it is a waning, the moon is a waning gibbous moon, which can mean a time of honing or tweaking or adjusting something. And that's what these thoughts are about. Yeah, these deep thoughts. And we have Pluto will compel us to go deep, yeah, and face or confront whatever emotional intensity that is important for you, right? This is Pluto is wanting us to go deep about psychological themes, the psychological themes of our life. The moon is there very emotional, and this will be very like um, this will be very deep, but your intuition will be improved tomorrow. It could be really high, right? We have the trine to Uranus as well. Uranus is the spiritual dimension, and so Pluto wants to know the truth as well. Pluto is digging deep, going very deep about these psychological, emotional, intense, whatever is going on. Pluto wants the truth and to us to see beyond the veil. Yeah, to lift the veil. If we're willing to be vulnerable tomorrow on May 8th, we can become more emotionally emotionally aware through our own experiences and be able to see what was hidden before. Tomorrow there could be an aha moment. There definitely could be, but it is of something intense. Yeah. And this can lead to growth and resilience for sure. Pluto wants regeneration and transformation. And Pluto does represent resilience in its way. Yes, it does. So let's talk about Aries tomorrow. All right. And the moon with Pluto is in your 11th house of future aspirations. Here it is, and here I have you, Aries, right here. We should have put Aquarius here, but that's okay. And Pluto and the moon are right across, all right? But this, for you, Aries, this is your 11th house, and I don't know why that is blocking that. Okay, there it is. Okay, so here is the 11th house, and this is also about social connections and friends and like-minded people, so there could be something intense for you there, all right? For Taurus, the intensity is in your 10th house of career and social positioning, social status, and the roles that we have in society. We're married, we're divorced, right? Things like that. There's all kinds of that type of social positioning. Sometimes it has to do with how we want to position ourselves. So you may be really, that could be on your mind in a very intense way, right? Now, that is also your house of authority and ambition, Aries. Yes, it is. Uh, Taurus. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry about that. This is for Taurus. That is also your house of authority and ambition, the authority you want to wield over your own life. So that can definitely um, be the theme for you tomorrow, right? Gemini, the moon and Pluto are in your ninth house of higher purpose and growth and expansion. And so, whatever's on your mind is going to be about making something bigger or growing, um, right? And or your purpose. And so for Cancer, this conjunction will be influencing your eighth house of transformation. Pluto rules the eighth house of transformation in the natural chart, and the moon is your luminary or your ruling planet. So tomorrow, Cancer, I would say you probably are the one who will feel this the most. Yeah. And the moon, and they're influencing that house of transformation and also seeing what was hidden. Remember, these are the kind of the same themes of Pluto, and this is essentially, yeah, Pluto's house, all right? And so for Leo, this is happening in your house of partnerships. This is your house of romantic, business, whatever type of partnerships, one-on-ones, even clients, right, and business. But this house is also how you create harmony and balance in your life. It is the house of opponents and people who don't agree with us or situations that don't agree with us. So your mind or your feelings might be there, right? It also includes legal matters. So for Virgo, you may be feeling this surrounding health and wellness, work, um, or your daily practical matters. This is the house of responsibilities and obligations, our routines, our habits, and our lifestyle. So there may be definitely that could be on your mind, right? Libra, the moon and Pluto are in your house of self-expression. All right, so this is the house of love and sex and and fun and pleasure and entertainment and hobbies and talents. But this is the house where we shine and the house where we are expressing ourselves in a very authentic way. At least that's what the sun wants for us because the sun is the natural ruler of the fifth house. So can be any of those things, Libra. Now, Scorpio, and also your creative self-expression. Remember, Libra, we talked about talents, right? So for you, Scorpio, this is going to be intense for you. I feel like it is, right? And this is also in your house of home and family, could be about your home where you live now. And it's also about your emotional foundation and your emotional security. Like what keeps you kind of happy and grounded and things like that. So, yeah, and Pluto is your modern ruler. Yeah, so you're likely to feel that. All right. Sagittarius, the conjunction is in your third house of thinking. All right. So you could be really deep about your goals, your plans, possibly, your communication with somebody, but this is, or your communication in general, right? What if you're working in some type of business or something like I'm doing, your communication will be important, right? Kind of your presentation. But yeah, that also be about anything that is of the cerebral. This is also the house, Sagittarius, of siblings and extended families, right? And things that are very familiar to you. Maybe you think something that is so familiar that it really needs to change. That's a possibility. You could be going deep about that. And that is also the house of early childhood. Yeah, the third house. Capricorn, the conjunction is in your second house of material comfort. So you probably will feel that, Capricorn, because the sun right now is in Taurus, and that is about, material comfort. This is like Taurus energy, basically, right? The second house. And this is about your possessions, your values, your well-being. And the second house is also, yeah, as it relates to Taurus, your determination, right? Sensuality, your senses, food, and nature. And I have a video coming up with the Taurus new moon, and that will be on the 16th. And that video will be coming early next week for sure. Aquarius, this is in your first house. It sure is. So it's going to be personal on some level. It is, and you might feel very emotional about it. You could, and this can be possibly about family as well, because, the moon does relate to our emotions, our family, and, our tribe or our mother, things like that. Also, but this will be, have much to do with your emotional foundation and kind of, how you're feeling that right now in your life. All right. Pisces, there could be intense themes and issues that you want to release. Yeah, you may be really looking at that in order to allow transformation in some area of your life, right? Aquarius is in your 12th house of endings. You're likely to see and understand things possibly that you were not able to before. Your intuition should be super high, Pisces, because you're a water sign, right? And the Pluto and the Moon are both associated with water. Yeah, they are. And your emotions and your intuition. So thanks so much for joining me. And if you guys want to get a reading, go to the description box and, please like, share, and subscribe. It's really helping me to get to the next level. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for joining me here. Hit the bell in order to receive my notifications of my next video. And I will see you there.